make you that feel it. God in a man, that's how I'm living. I cannot duplicate, I am different. I cannot live my life busy sinning. Dog, it's a cold world, got the ice on me. Walking through the dark with that light upon me. Live holy hands to the greater one, great commission.
The gatekeepers right now of dating podcasts are Just Pearly Things, Fresh and Fit, and whatever. And like, I like them all, but I see the most maturity on Just Pearly Things. On whatever, I'm watching it, and all of a sudden Brian's like spazzing out, and I'm like, bro, like, I get it, like, you're spazzing out, you know, you're having a bad day, you know, whatever, but you're turning off your Christian fans. So you're sitting there cursing up a storm, acting all pissed towards these females. It's like a little too much. But then, you know, he brings Christians onto his podcast, and they like shed the light. And I love it. He had Bernadine, that girl, shout out to her. And then he has that guy Chad, who's really cool. Shout out to Chad. But
his name's
Chase. I'm so sorry, Chase.
He looks like a Chad.
I know, right? But then you got Fresh and Fit, which I loved Fresh and Fit until recently. You know. They're just too savage. Like, they're so savage, dude. It's so bad. Like, if I have females, I don't care if the girl got OnlyFans or she's a stripper, I'm still not gonna talk disrespectful to her. If she acts disrespectful, I'm just gonna like, hey, can you please leave? You know, we just don't appreciate that. That's it. These dudes sit there, curse them out, call them hoes, do the sound bite where they're like, she's for the streets. And what are the other ones? Like some insulting sound bites to these females. And I'm like, listen, like, dude, Jesus sat with tax collectors and prostitutes. Tax collectors back in the day were basically thieves. They literally they pressed people for money that the people didn't even have, and like threatened them and stuff for money. So Jesus sat down with some of the most evil, or what you would call evil or just degenerate people. And you know, let's be mature, right? Women do OnlyFans and they do prostitution and they strip and they do escorting because they want money. They want a better life. That doesn't make it right. You know, it just doesn't. They're selling their soul for, you know, for money, and that's it. You lose your reputation. Your whole family dislikes you. Your kids' friends are gonna pick on them and make fun of them and say, "Oh, your mom's hot" online. It's just not good. It's not. A woman is supposed to be pure. A woman is supposed to preserve her sexual purity. But the Bible commands modesty. You know, it is what it is. It's just a better look. Like, I would never want my girl to have her booty or her breast out for some strange guy online. Period. You know, some people, I get it, you do it because you're an influencer and you make money. Listen, you can make money without showing your goods. You know, you really can. The type of men that you're gonna attract by just showing yourself all the time is low-class men. A high-value, high-class man is looking for purity. He's looking for modesty. He wants the woman that doesn't care about the attention of men. It's nothing to her. He doesn't want a woman who is like, she lives for the attention of men. Is disgusting. Like, seriously. It's immature. It says so much about who she is. It says so much about her character. It says something about what she values. If you just value attention from people and you just want to get it however, not with substance, but with just something as simple as your private parts, it's low class. It's a lower vibrational reality to be living in. That you think life is just, oh, men want sex and that's how I'm gonna make money and that's life. The men that you're making money off of on OnlyFans are pure weirdos. Like, these are dudes that don't get any game. They're so lonely, they hate their life, that they've resorted to an online friend who they're paying to be their friend. You know, because OnlyFans girls, they develop a relationship with these guys. And it's just like, it's sad, like, for real, you know, it really is. I don't care what your excuse is. If you work on yourself as a man, you will find the woman that you like, and you can marry her and have a family. The other options are just not, they're not gonna make you happy, you know? Women do OnlyFans and then they grow up and then they're like 35, 40, single. Kind of too late to start a family, you know? I mean, anything's possible, but... So, getting back to Fresh and Fit, you know, Fresh and Fit, I love Fresh and Fit. Like, for real, I loved Fresh and Fit. I loved what they talked about. I think they talked about really real stuff. Like, I'm not a promoter of a man having several women. I don't promote that lifestyle. I think monogamy is the best choice. But they shed light on the fact that men want more than one woman. It's true. A lot of men do. It's something that's in men. I get it. They've been done in history. Kings have done it. It's more so of like a need where it's like all these beautiful women and there's only one king with all the resources, and you have a bunch of peasant men who either work for the king or they just kind of live a Joe Schmo life, you know, in the town, you know. King David, Solomon. So I say that to say, you know, they were shedding light on some serious truths, yes. But then they got into this thing where they started like just like insulting the women that come on their show, calling them trash, this and that. I get it, some of those women deserved it, they acted crazy. But sometimes these dudes would just get too into it, like just the animosity. They're so ready to just be insulting. Like some of the stuff I've been seeing Myron do lately, I'm like, bro, you need to chill, bro. Like, you're gonna lose such a... I mean, I don't know, you know? I don't know. It's like, you got people like 6ix9ine who blew up for being totally evil. You know, dude blew up. I mean, the amount of people that live in sin on this planet is a lot, you know? So it's not a surprise, you know? Like, if Myron wants to make his brand that, this thing is kind of sad, you know, sitting there insulting Abba and Preach. Abba and Preach are good dudes, man. Shout out to Abba and Preach. Like me and my girl, we watch you all the time, man. You guys make great content. I might have disagreed with like one thing Abba said one time, which was like his opinion. Other than that, guys are solid, man. Like for real. Like I'm saying that to say we're gonna start the dating podcast. We are. It's gonna be popping. I might have to like rent a spot every week for it because we got to be in there a lot. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I like to come out to the beach a lot, you know. Moved to Florida in 2019. It was probably the happiest decision that I've ever made. I think New York was just kind of much, you know. It was so much going on. I lived in the city, so I know what it is to take the subway every day. Hour-and-a-half ride to Manhattan. High school in Manhattan. I went to Urban Academy Laboratory High School. So I knew what that life was like, the urban life, and honestly, I really didn't like it. You know, I just kind of tolerated it, but I didn't like it. You know, I was kind of broke at the time, living with my dad and my grandmother. It was just like it's rough time, you know, rough time in New York. Like it was a time of darkness, man. I went through so much living in New York City, man. Homelessness, being broke a lot, not knowing what I really wanted to do with my life, trying to like, you know, become someone, but just didn't have the resources at the time in New York City. I moved to Florida. I heard the Lord told me to come here. It was just a vacation at first, and I just loved it so much. I was in Naples. I loved it so much. I was like, yo, I just felt inside, like, yo, just stay. Came here, started making nice money, man. Started making really good money from my phone. Just doing trades, crypto and stuff. I do different stuff, you know, financial services, like different stuff. I own a shea butter company, Eternal Sun Shea. Shout out to Eternal Sun Shea. You know, it's just crazy. It's night and day. Like over here, it's so slow paced. Everyone's relaxed. Everyone's enjoying life. People are not stressed out. You know, all the time. You go to New York, everyone's just stressed. Like they crawl into this hole in the ground to go to this job that doesn't even pay them enough to live a life that they're happy about. And they crawl out. They're all just like crawling out of the ground again to go into their job that they hate. And they're just working to survive. And that's what the beast system has done to society. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Juni. It means summer. And I make summer music.
It's dark, I'll be the light to guide you in this summer. In this summer, spring and fall. Yeah. There comes a time when you fall in love.
Yo, we used to get boba like a few times a week, me and her. You know, when you're bodybuilding, man, you have to cut out things that just don't give you gains. You just have to, or else you're just wasting time, for real. We actually stopped buying chicken. We're trying to fast chicken because it has this certain compound in it that makes us bloat. I don't know why it just does. Like beef and steak doesn't. It's weird. Like I can eat steak and beef and I'll feel full, but I won't be bloated. It's a difference. I used to be super thin. Now I'm like, you know, maybe say I'm medium, you know? Yeah, I mean, I wear 2XL, which is crazy, because I don't even feel big like that. I really don't. I don't feel huge yet, maybe in like a year, but Yeah, I went from wearing a size medium to wearing a double XL. For those of you who don't know, it does take more time for taller people to put on muscle. It just does.
When it gets dark, I'll be the light to guide you in this summer. Hey mama, hey mama, hey. I just wanna hear.
In Florida, if someone's threatening your life, it is completely legal to shoot them dead, and the cops will applaud you. I'd be like, good job. This one sheriff in Polk County, the famous one who's always on TV, he was like, if you see a guy and he's trying to break in your house, turn them into some grilled cheese, something like that. Make them look like some pizza. We don't give a damn. That's what you should be doing. Some country white dude. Well, he's a sheriff. He's a famous sheriff in Polk County. And he's always on TV talking about the new people they caught trafficking and selling drugs. It's remarkable work, honestly. Like I've always, like I've said this before, I want to start my own intelligence operation one day. Just help people, man. Find people that are kidnapped, that are just freaking being kept in a freaking basement for 10 years by some creep. You know, go and find them. You know what I'm saying? Get them out. It's crazy to think that's happening right now. That there's probably hundreds of people that are living locked away in some dude's shed.
The FBI doesn't do anything about it unless it benefits them. It makes them look good.
Oh yeah, the FBI don't give a dang about crime. They're only out for their own political agenda. They're trying to protect Biden, prosecute Trump. They've had people on their wanted list for so long that they never went after, and those people ended up committing crimes. Like there was a guy who killed someone in New York City subways, and he had been on their on the FBI's wanted list for like a while, and they just never pursued it. My own grandmother, who's a Hindu, the other day we were talking about transgenderism. She was like, yeah, oh, we have a kid like that in our school. Yeah, he's a boy, but he acts like a girl, and we just kind of like, you know, treat him like a girl. You know, we just respect him. And I'm like, Grandma, are you serious right now? We were just at the dinner table, and I was like, come on. I asked her husband right there at the table. I said, if your son came home and said that he wanted to be a girl, or he liked men, what would you do? He was like, I beat his butt right there.
That's exactly what he did in his Spanish accent. He's like, I'd slap him up, like something like that.
Yeah,
it's really funny. And your
so
grandmother was like, she like rolled her eyes.
And I'm like, Grandma, where did you learn that this is okay? Who taught you? Who taught you this is okay? You should accept this. They think killing animals is bad and eating them is bad, which is just idiotic, because the nature of life is the circle of life. You see the circle of life all around us. It's kill or be killed. If you go out into the wild, you think the lion has respect for you and is going to respect you as a human and not eat you? No. So what do you have to do? You have to get a gun and you have to kill it. We're living the circle of life. That's why humanity developed civilization away from animals. There's a reason why bears are not walking around, because they're not equal to us. We reign over them. The Bible says it. Genesis 1:25. Be fruitful, multiply, subdue the earth, replenish the earth, and have dominion over every creeping thing, like every animal. We're commanded to have dominion over every animal. How is that possible? They're bigger than us because we have consciousness and they don't. Lions don't develop weapons. It wasn't their assignment. And so, no, there's nothing wrong with eating meat or killing animals. There's nothing wrong with that. I know more sane meat eaters than I know sane vegetarians. Literally. I know sane, godly, conservative meat eaters. And then I know crazy vegetarians who swear that I'm in horrible sin because I kill animals or because I eat them, which is contributing to the killing of them. Yes, you could argue that slaughterhouses are torturous, yada, yada, yada. Dude, killing is torture to begin with. Animals die. It's part of life. Death is a part of life. And they look at this thing like it's this horrible sin and they can't get past it. And it just blocks the blessing of God from their life. If you think that killing animals and eating animals is a sin, you are so far gone. You want to focus on the most unimportant thing ever. Humanity is divided. You got Bill Gates buying up all this farmland so he can make fake meat, so he can dictate everything that we eat. And they're trying to put the vaccine in food now, which is freaking crazy.
I cannot live my life busy sinning. Dog is a cold world, got the ice on me.